Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you may be. Welcome back to the Pitch Perfect podcast. Today we have myself, of course, Kiki,
Hi.
and Elaine. And today we are joined by the Rainbow Pitch Season 3 Top 8 competitor, the Smashing Good team member, and a video essayist. We have Summer today.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
Glad to be back.
Now, for those that haven't seen the previous episode with you or may not be familiar with you, could you tell us a little bit about yourself real quick?
Sure, yeah. I'm a fab player based in Chicago in the U.S. I'm outspoken and I'm a bit controversial, some might say. But I'm also a ranger player, and I just love to talk about all the good things in the community, uplift other women, and have a fun time playing Flesh and Blood.
Perfect.
What a great little introduction to you.
I think
Encapsulate
the
you a
most
little bit.
controversial thing about you is that you play Ranger. Like, aside from that, I don't know any controversy. At least for me.
Yeah, we're pretty on board
Yeah,
with what
yeah.
you do for the most part. I like that you sling arrows personally, but don't tell Elaine that.
You just can't get behind it, but it's okay.
I don't know. I sling all sorts of things.
Now, normally we do some shout Yeah. Normally we do some shout outs as well. And I put in the shout outs, I don't know if we have any, but of course we did just have the compendium of a spoiler season. So, there were a bunch of spoilers.
Yeah.
I think we did shout them out in the past, but confirmed the ones that I've found were Carolina, who did... Which one did she do?
She did the pirate card.
The Marlin.
Oh, she did.
You can discard.
Yeah, so she had Cheating
Yes.
Scoundrel. And,
Yes.
Yeah. Discard, create a gold token. Oh, rather, you wager a gold token, and then you can cheat to win said wager token. No, we don't encourage actual card cheating. But yeah, she brought back the Marlin cosplay back for that. Jackie made the mask, Lias Mouth's Two-Faced. We had Ellie Bird, who had a really fun sort of community spoiler where she would get everyone to guess a singular word on the card. And if they got it right, she'd correct that shit and confirm that, rather. And together they kind of built towards the final reveal. We had, of course, Max, who did a lovely mask once again, or a headpiece. This time as the Crown of Frozen Thoughts, and she did this lovely kind of blue cosplay going on. Yuki's one, I didn't see where it was spoiled, and I can't remember what it was, but she had one. I had a look at the YouTube channel as well, on the bubble.
Yeah, I
couldn't
think
find
she
it.
only posted it on her Twitter. It was the Rune Blade hate trap
Yeah.
for Ranger.
Right. For Ranger, oh, that must make you feel a bit sad.
Some of them do, some of them don't. I think that one's okay.
And then we also had Ran Sasaki, or Toran, on Facebook, who had the Draconic headpiece, and she cosplayed as that. And then we had Yui as well, who revealed Touch of Reality. So, and of course, your team, I guess, also had the Benji card. So that's all of the groups that I could... there was also Flesh and Bad.
Flesh
now
and
that I think
Bad,
about it,
yes,
wasn't there?
did reveal guard.
Yeah, I knew I was missing at least one. And they had Windcutter. And did they do anything fancy
Yeah,
for
they
that
had
one?
they had a video. I watched their teaser video. It was like 8 seconds, so I thought the video was up, and then it wasn't up, and Aurora had posted to come back, and I haven't had a chance to actually watch the actual video now. But there is a video up.
I mean, we've seen what they can do, like, I have also just found the link now, and I'm obviously not going to watch it live and just let y'all watch me watching it. I don't know if that's good content. Reaction videos. Yeah, so shout outs to all the fantastic people with spoilers. I'm personally really excited to see how these cards are going to function in all the various formats that we have in Flesh and Blood. I thought it was going to be like a Sage focus set, but we got a lot of LL stuff. Especially noting like that Rainbow tribe and our personal spoiler as well. probably has a place in LL, not in Classic Constructed at the moment as well. So very excited. Carrying on with this Flesh and Blood train, it's been a while since we've just gone straight into Flesh and Blood. Let's be real. But carrying on, we have our weeks in Flesh and Blood. So, Summer, why don't you start us off? Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing this last week or few weeks in Flesh and Blood.
Mine's been pretty quiet, but something that we're trying to do as a team is like be serious about testing and practice and stuff like that. So, just doing Armory, and then I've been learning Syndra this week because KO is probably going to go like first or second week of PQ season, and I essentially want to like be on a meta hero, to like do good at events that I attend instead of just bringing Riptide and like goofing off. So I've been learning Syndra this week, and this has been kind of hilarious. Like that deck is so easy to play. Like you do have to do some stuff, but it's so easy to pilot, and it's like very easy to just draw off mask momentum like every turn. And I'm like, wow, I've been playing Fab on hard mode. Like I feel like Brute has sort of like a reputation of being like unga bunga, but I feel like even KO, you have to be specific about how you sequence, and like you have to do a lot more thinking, and the deck can sometimes just like brick. And in Cinder, you're just like, okay, I activate Flick Knives, I buy back my daggers, I go 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4. Silly.
The biggest question you have to ask yourself is, do I have a starter in hand? If so,
right. It's very funny.
Yeah, no, I definitely found the same thing when I picked up Syndra for the first time as well. As someone who's notoriously not played aggro decks, and I picked up Syndra because I liked her vibe, as opposed to because I liked the playstyle. And it turns out I really enjoyed it, and it became my hangover deck.
Yeah.
Like if I was drinking the night before Armory, because in my local we do our Armories at 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning. If I was drinking the night before, I was like, I'm playing Syndra tomorrow.
That's absolutely correct. Because you only need one functioning brain cell to pilot this deck, and you can still like do pretty well with it.
I mean, like, I only have our functioning brain cell half the time. Elaine has it the other half.
We share one brain cell. It just bounces
It just
back
goes
and forth.
Bounce back and forth across transatlantic.
Yep.
Exactly. Thankfully, we don't have to pay for fees for that.
Those are getting steep.
Speaking of Elaine, how was your week in Flesh
It's
and
been
Blood?
a pretty calm week in Flesh and Blood. I think I've really just done Armory this past week. I went to Armory, went 2-1 again on Kasai. I played an Ira, beat Ira, and then really got beat really bad by Marionette. Mario like activates I like posted that on Bluesky, but Mario seriously activates my flight or fight. Like I don't know what's going on. There's so much happening. I think I spent the whole game just being like, I'm so stressed out, I want to cry. I don't know. How do you always have it? No matter how I block, it feels like you have it.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I just hate. It's a tough matchup for Kasai, granted, but like, oh my gosh, that playing against that deck is that's a nightmare for me. I didn't win that game. And then my last matchup, I played against a Dash.io, which I did win. I just have a ton of experience in that matchup, so I feel like I played that matchup really well, because I just know it so well. I've been trying to. I've had a goal this past week to like dedicate more time to like watching coverage and studying the game of Flesh and Blood, and it hasn't happened this week. Sometimes you just have a goal, and I cannot. I don't even have 30 minutes of spare time. So maybe next week I'll have some more to say about that. How about you, Kiki?
I think we haven't recorded since I played on the Progress. Oh, not Progress, Rotonets, right? That would have been like
Well,
2 weeks ago, or you missed
last week we didn't record because you were doing something. Yeah.
I was away. Yeah. So 2 weekends ago, I played in the Road to Nationals, and I made the bold decision to play Prism into this current metagame,
Very brave.
which it was not a good idea, but admittedly, I hadn't had a chance to like practice anything else, so I kind of just went into it. I was kind of hoping to like disrespect people's disrespect. Like I kind of hoped people would be like, "Prism's bad, we're not going to worry about it." And like my city's known for having a lot of prisms. Like if we have a 30-40 person event, there's a good chance that 5 of them will be prisms. Across both Road to Nationals that I went to on that weekend, I was the only one. So I made the right call in the sense that I was correct that nobody else would be respecting it, or so I thought. I went 3-3 up twice, so 6-6 overall across 2 events. I lost against every Ira. Ira's in a horrendous matchup. That wasn't surprising. I beat every brute I played against, which was
that's
very
great.
surprising. One of which was a tough nut, and surprisingly, like, I'd never played against a tough nut before. I didn't know exactly what I was meant to do, but I was like, I'll figure it out. I'll piece together auras, we'll figure it out. I didn't realize that until the game started that Rock has the phrase "damage can't be prevented," and it attacks for 7. And that's problematic, because usually if it's a 7 power attack, I can throw a 3 block, my angel goes in front of it, everything's okay. No, I'm just going to lose everything instead. And there was one particular turn, I was on 21, I think I played some auras, and then my opponent goes pump spell, rock for 11. And I'm like, oh. And I'm looking at my hand of 2 3 blocks and 2 no blocks. And I'm on 21 with an angel and 2 spectral shield in play. And I try not to give up too much of like an emotional reaction. Like, no, like I'm trying to poker face this. It's difficult. I'll go to chat and just clear my board. This is all fine. Everything was not fine. I somehow managed to claw back into that, thanks to my tough nut opponent flipping a yellow without tunics. That there was like one turn where they couldn't rock, and I happened to have got my Soraya back. And then there was, on the second day, a KO, which again is a matchup I shouldn't be able to win very easily. But thankfully I forced him into a position where he had to like scab skins, had an Arclight Sentinel and a Soraya, and then he rolled a 1. So we take the wins where we can. Overall, it's a fun experience. If I had time for more practice, it probably would have been a Cinder weekend. But it wasn't. And then last weekend, we had the Calling in the middle of New Zealand, which, for those that aren't aware, it's an event that we run here in New Zealand, in the North Island of our country, which is about like the size of half of a state in the US, depending on the state. Where people all come together to a small town rural area where there's like very little internet and there's no shops around, and we have like our end of summer Flesh and Blood event, I guess. So it's very unofficial, like very unofficial. Ignore the fact that it has the Calling in the title. There's an asterisk in the middle of the name. But we host like a barbecue. We do a gumboot toss or Wellington toss. I don't know what you call it. It's like your like rain boots kind of thing. We throw those as far as we can, or at a target. In this case, it was a Bright Lights booster box. And because the city that we were in, or the town that we were in, their mascot is a carrot, we played a game called Carrot in a Box, which some people that watch like 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown might be familiar with. But functionally, it's a bluffing game where there's a box with a carrot and a box that doesn't have a carrot, and one person opens their box and then tries to convince the other person to either swap or not swap before revealing. It's a lot of fun. Like, I think I was fairly tipsy on commentary that day.
As you should be.
And as I should be. The vibes are significantly not very serious whatsoever. And it's just a way to enjoy Flesh and Blood and the end of summer as we're getting into February down here. Or we are in February now. So that was my time in Flesh and Blood. It does mean that I functionally worked like 13 days in a row. Because despite the fact that the Flesh and Blood event, I am hosting and working that event. So I'm tired. Trying not to fall asleep at all times. But it's been
It's
good.
always like,
And of course we also had our
oh,
yes.
yeah,
So
we did
exciting.
do that.
that
that
is
is
Flesh and
Flesh and
Blood
Blood
related.
related.
Yes, we also made
It
a
did
spoiler
consume a
video.
lot of time this week for me, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, true.
But yes. We're not here to talk about us. We're here to talk about you, Summer. We'll just get into the discussion. For the longest time in this community, since we've been present in it, we've known you as a Flesh and Blood player, a hilarious social media poster, and a champion for the outspoken in our community. But recently, you've been delving into something new, a little bit of Flesh and Blood content creation, specifically essays. What brought you into this world, and how are you finding the experience of creating content? How's it adding to your Flesh and Blood experience?
Yeah. So I have like a literary analysis, English lit background, and I love talking about art and about writing, in a very deep way that's talking about thematics and like what things mean and how they relate to people. And I had noticed a couple of things like early on, especially like all of the music cards for Runeblade. When I first started playing, and people have always talked about all of the pro wrestling references, and I thought it was really interesting that Guardian gets pro wrestling for good reason, and then Runeblade's got music. So that had sort of been popping around my brain for like 2.5 years or so. Just sort of like trying to figure out what that meant. And of course, it was reinforced with a lot of the cards from Rosetta. And a lot of those, like, I use as like my jumping off point to like talk about it a little bit more deeply. And, I had been thinking about it. I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel just on my own, just to do these things, but it felt kind of silly because I just had those two ideas. So the Runeblade one and then the Verdant and Florian one. And I was like, who knows when I'd have ideas for more. And I, spoiler, I end up having more ideas for more. But I'm like, this is going to be 2 YouTube videos on one channel that no one's ever going to see. So when we started to like get a little bit more serious about smashing a team, and when Brian Hoffman, my friend and teammate, was like, hey, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, I was like, hey, like, I want to help however I can. I can fill out like some of the stuff, and I would be really interested in posting some, video essays. And it's more of a democracy than anything else. Me, Amy, and him have control over the YouTube channel, so he's kind of sort of the face of it, but we all kind of equally have creative say. And he was like, yeah, like, that sounds awesome. So he's been very supportive from the start. And I sat down, wrote it out, and my aim is not to like become like the biggest fab YouTuber in the world. That would be fun, but that sounds like a lot of pressure. I just want to like connect with people and like let them know my thoughts, and hopefully that like, even if one person is touched by what I have to say and like how I say it, like that just means the world to me. So, having some women comment on my Verdance video and being like, wow, that really spoke to me about like the alienation from the feminine and how I've been able to, reclaim my relationship with the feminine, like that spoke to me a lot. So that meant a lot to me to hear that from them. And then, people commenting on the Runeblade video who are just like, I've hated Runeblade since I started playing this, and this made me think about them differently. Like, I just love that. And I think this is primarily a competitive focus game. And I think that's awesome. But I think that there is some spaces on like the content side that we could get a little bit more creative about, and that's sort of what I wanted to bring to the table.
You mentioned like this isn't in the show now. You mentioned that you just want your videos to connect and touch, just bring people to you functionally, right? your specifically Blade video that you talked about, like I think I might have mentioned it in passing to an extent, but it's literally my favorite Flesh and Blood video that exists at the moment. I could listen to you talk all day about it, of how you kind of bring elements from outside of the game itself, but like real world elements in Flesh and Blood to help explain this kind of stuff. This is an unintentional segue to the next question. Video. I've specifically mentioned the mood and music of Rune Blades, which we should put a link down below if we remember. But it draws some sources outside, sources and ideas from outside the world of Wraith. What's your process like when you're making a video like this? What inspires you to come up with ideas that are so out of the box and aren't just Flesh and Blood focused, but rather how you tie it in with the real world?
Well, I think the important thing is like all art is contextual to the time that it's made in. And that means like the context of like history of art, which all artists draw off of. They're trained to do these sorts of things. They all have influences. And they're both conscious and unconscious, I would say. There's also like the history of marketing, which also, and propaganda, which also, sort of shapes in a lot of ways how we think and how we go about the world. And I just spent a lot of time in college and in high school reading a lot and thinking a lot about these things. I spent a lot of time on Tumblr, talking about, literary analysis of like visuals and stuff like that. And a lot of time with my friends, discussing movies and music and like what it all means to us, how it impacts, how like different things impact us. Something that I think about that I find really cute. Like we're all obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter, but
Me?
so
Never heard of her.
So in her album last year, Short and Sweet, there was a song Juno, which is about like getting her pregnant. But that's not a cute or clever way to say it. Like, just like she could have gone like the knock me up, but that's not her. So she says, "Make me Juno," which is not a phrase that anyone has ever said. She invented it because it's a reference to, a movie from like, I don't know, like 2011, 2012 about teen pregnancy.
I think it's older than that.
2008 or something.
Let me see.
I watched it with my first girlfriend, so I think it would have been around like 2005.
Is what it
6.
came out.
2007.
2007.
So a movie that probably a lot of her like younger fans hadn't even seen, let alone heard of, let alone seen, and they're just like thinking that she's talking about like Greek gods or whatever, and everyone's like, she's talking about the Diablo Cody movie from 2007. But it's just like a fun way to like, and I bring this in because I've watched other YouTube video essays, and one of the ones that I really liked was talking about like villainy, and that's where I first like learned the connection of like purple to like all the Disney villains, purple and black, and there's like a racialized aspect of that as well, which I half mentioned here and then also in that video. But that sort of stuck with me, and just like being able to see those patterns and how colors communicate information to us in various ways. I also took like color theory classes for graphic design when I took a couple classes for that in college. It just sort of like all sticks with me, and it sort of just like swirls around in my head, and occasionally I just like get it all out onto the page. So I try to like make myself write for maybe an hour or two a day, and then I'm very much like someone who has to go back several times over my drafts to tweak things and make them make more sense, because I don't often make sense to other people. My brain is a bit interesting that way. So to become clear in what I'm trying to communicate to people and to make it, succinct and also punchy in a way, because I don't want to be like overly verbose like I am being right now. And hopefully find some phrasing or some images or emotion that will stick with people.
That's like, you said you don't want to be like verbose like you're being right now, but I'm like, you had like my full attention. I was like, this is so interesting. You're so talented and well spoken. And I was like, wow, this is really, I feel like I'm in a lecture right now, but like in a good way. I love being a student. I love being a student, so I mean that as a good thing. Like, wow, I just feel so
very kind to say.
calm. I could sit here and listen to this forever.
Yeah, I feel so at peace.
Yeah, actually. Wow, this is so soothing for some reason.
Thanks.
I may have used that video more than once to like have a nap to or to fall asleep to, just like, like what I like about it in a weird sense is that like most of Flesh and Blood is like big, exciting, in your face, and this one's not. This one's just like, it's almost reading me a bedtime story. It just happens to be about music theory and rune blades. And it's really nice and lovely and informative.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people who's
Yeah, I
like,
really
hey
appreciate it.
guys, we're back, blah, blah, like that's not me. Like I just like can't keep that up for too long, and I know that's sort of the energy that YouTube wants, which is why I'm never going to be like a top creator. But I like, this stuff like means a lot to me, and I want to share that, and I'm glad that it like resonates with you and with other people. Like that means more to me than like any other success. But like, like metrics still help, so it's nice to see like like 1,000 views or whatever. Like it's like not anything huge, but it's a step. It's like, okay, people are willing to watch this, and I've learned that Kiki is at least half of those views, so that's great.
You can send me a portion of the check later. Switching it up now, you are a Flesh and Blood player, of course. You've played in the Rainbow Pitch League 3 times now, 3 of 3, and this past season, you made the top 8. And not only did you make the top 8 of the Rainbow Pitch League, you top 8'd the last possible event that you could have played Azalea in Classic Constructed. What does this top 8 mean to you? Or did this top 8 mean to you, I guess?
It meant and still means a lot to me, because like I'm someone who like I'm not naturally very good at this game. This is my first TCG, and I'm kind of like a head empty player. Like I'm not, I'm a little scattered, I'm a little goofy, and I don't always play like the meta hero. But I still set goals to myself to like practice and try to do better. I don't ever think I'm gonna be like a high tier competitor, but I want to like at least be respectable or whatever. So like my goal after competing in Rainbow Pitch the first time was to just have a better win-loss record, and I did that. And then my goal for this past year was same thing, just have a better record, because like I was like 4-4 first year, 5-4 second year, or like 5-3 or something like that. And then this one I was just like, I just want to do better, like 6-2 or whatever. And then I ended up top 8ing, which was like very surprising. And yeah, like it was like a little over halfway through the season when Azalea like went out in like a random battle hardened that wasn't even streamed. So I was just like in Purple Discord, just like the feeling like so sad, and just like seeing as like we kept getting the updates and just being like, oh. But thankfully, like as you said, Azalea is locked in, legality is locked in for Rainbow Pitch League, which I think is the best way to go about it, the most straightforward, I think. And just being able to meet my goal and in such a way, and then make top 8 when my top 8s are few and far between. And I want to change that, but I love Rainbow Pitch League. I will always, like credit it towards, making me feel more confident in my play, and like it's also a good community. Like it's good vibes, and you know, a lot of incredible players. And so proving myself with Azalea specifically, my beloved, who, you know, like went out. I ended up not getting LO points with her, which I will probably always regret, but at least I feel like I did well with her a few times, you know, like, and that means so much to me.
Yeah.
And it's recorded. It's
It's
on
the internet.
People
It's on the internet.
people can watch those games. You will be one of the last people to play in Classic Constructed. I think you and Robin are the last two to play
Yeah,
Classic
I think
Constructed.
so. Yeah, and like, you know, that's like Robin and I were made aware of each other, and like we met in Philly, and now we like DM about Azalea and Sage a lot. It's just like great. It's like my Azalea friends.
I love
So,
Robin.
yeah,
I love when like friends become friends, you know? It's like, yeah.
yeah, she's great.
Mhm.
We're just like, why are these traps here? Good.
You know, these traps also give +3 attack. If you want to use them on the front half of the cards. And both your arrows. They don't need to have on hits. Your arrows do that for you.
Yeah, it was so fun too to like see you. I mean, it's always fun to like, as I guess TOs. It's so fun to watch players' journeys throughout Rainbow Pits Leagues, like throughout one season or throughout multiple seasons. That's like the most exciting part of it. And having watched you played multiple seasons and then make top 8 this most recent season, that was just it was really exciting to watch your journey and really exciting to cast your games and see you in the top 8. So congratulations again.
Yeah, thanks.
I think I message you at the start of every season, being like,
Yeah,
this is the
yeah, you've always been such a big cheerleader for me, Kiki, and it really means a lot.
But now you've done it. So
I've
now I
done
need to like up the
Yeah, now I need to make top 4 or make it to finals.
Exactly. Yeah. One step at a time. There's no expectation to win. But you will top 4
Top
next
4.
year.
That's my goal.
This year.
This year.
This year.
Yeah,
Next
this year.
season.
Next season.
Oh gosh. Time's moved too quickly. So outside of making the top 4 of the next Rainbow Pitch League, what can we expect from
So,
whether it be more videos,
more
games?
videos are definitely in the works. I'm working on. So while I was doing like the Runeblade stuff, like I just like have a bunch of notes about everything, and I had like initially a little segment about like what every Runeblade's music taste was, and I cut it because I couldn't make it fit. But I think I'm gonna make that like a micro series of like shorts for the channel.
That's cute.
So I have those all scripted out. I just need to film them, and I just like been in the doldrums, so I haven't done that yet. But that's incoming. I'm working on my next video essay. It'll be like maybe 10 minutes, hopefully, just talking about, you know, like the philosophy of Go Again in this game, which I think is really interesting. And then I finally qualified for US Nats, which I'm very excited about. You know, just like hitting my goal. So I'll be in Minneapolis competing. We'll see. Hopefully on a new Lightning Ranger that I've fully convinced myself is coming in like May or April or whatever, alongside Aurora. Yeah, like, you know, as a team, I mentioned this, we're like trying to be serious about testing and about being on metadecks and about like putting in the hours to like become a force in the Midwest and maybe in the States if we can. So yeah, I'm just going to be more serious about testing and trying to become like, you know, video essayist and a top player if I can.
That's super exciting. And I like have no doubt that you can do that. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think that the music taste shorts sounds really fun.
So
yeah,
fun.
I'm really excited about those. They're going to be a little controversial maybe, but I think they'll be funny.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that.
Well,
Like, if it's like, yeah, Florian listens to My Chemical Romance. Like, yeah, of course. It's like
yes, you have like.
the aesthetic
I wanted
vibe you
to
get,
be
right?
like, oh, he listen, but no, he's just MCR, like he has the Black Rose, like.
Yeah. But like, what's his guilty pleasure song?
I know, right?
Like, what does he secretly listen to that nobody knows
Yeah.
about? Like, that's
right, like
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
some fun takes on the heroes. People will be mad at me for the chain one, but it'll be funny.
I'm excited. I think one of Kiki and I's favorite things to do is just make up things about Flesh and Blood heroes.
No, I agree. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, like we just love making up stuff, making our own world of Wraith,
yeah.
which
And getting others
Yeah.
involved.
kind of leads us to our next segment, which specifically designed for you, of course, on the podcast today, and that is, what Flesh and Blood hero could Sabrina Carpenter be talking about? We have a list of Sabrina Carpenter songs, and then we just want your opinion on who these songs could be about. Do you want to kick us off, Kiki?
Sure, why not? Okay. So we're gonna start off with one of her more slow songs to begin with. Arguably one of the bigger songs that she's had, or no. Anyway, we're gonna start off with "Please, Please, Please." How would we describe the song first before we pick the hero? Give a brief description of what the song is and the meaning behind it. This is an open question.
So Please, Please, Please is about trying to convince a man who's bad for you to be better for you. And like, the big line in the song is, "Don't embarrass me, motherfucker." I beg you, don't embarrass me, motherfucker. And he does anyway because he's a stupid man. So it's such a good song. So this one for me is KO Armed and Dangerous, because you're drawing and discarding. And whenever I draw and I see that I've drawn a Blood Rush Bellow, and then I need to discard for like Wild Ride to get go again, and it needs to be a 6 and not Blood Rush Bellow, I just need to be, please, I beg you, don't embarrass me. Don't stop my turn right now. As I put, I shuffle my cards, so I don't even know which one is which. Put them on the table and go, how do you want to decide what a randomly discarding opponent?
That's so good. That
So
makes
good.
me want to like take the Please 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 music video and then just like Photoshop KO on Barry Keoghan's face. Map out
This
the
could be done.
scenario that you're describing with K.
This
This could be done.
This also works when you're begging to discard the Beast Within and you don't discard the Beast Within. They're like, God damn
Yeah.
it. You just need to do one thing.
Now I have this yellow resource.
And now I have this 3-cost yellow in my hand that I don't want. And I don't want Arsenal. And then I just have to send it at you for 6. And I'm like,
It's funny, when I was thinking about this segment and what we could do about it and stuff, but go deep into the character behind, like which characters would fit in with this. What I didn't expect was literal gameplay mechanics. That was part of the question, but that we've all seen a sketch skin roll. One,
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It happens, and I don't think I'm ever going to not sing this song in my head when my opponent rolls the scab skins into me now.
It's just perfect.
It's great. I love it. Again, I was trying to think about what hero would fit with that character was, but literally the random discard. So. Moving on to the next song, we have Manchild.
So this is another one because Sabrina Carpenter and I have similar terrible taste in men. So the line that I was thinking about for this one was never heard of self-care. You know, half your brain just ain't there. Man child, like, why you always come running, making all your living for me. And so I was thinking of this one, like, Riptide. He's never heard of self-care. Half his brain just ain't there. And I keep going back to him even though he's a bad deck because I think it's fun. And I keep trying to be like, no, it'll be good this time, guys. It'll be good this time. Look, we're in a warrior and assassin meta. That means Riptide's good. I'm like trying to like convince my team, and they're just like, okay, I guess you can play this for fun at Armories if you want, but like, I'm not gonna test this. And I'm like, ugh.
Hey, if Prism ever dominates the meta again, Riptide now has a lot of
I
lights.
know, he just got a buff. I'm saying.
Yeah, by the
The
rules.
rules.
I feel so
And they were like, we did this to make Riptide better. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you, LSS.
Other heroes, sure, but like Riptide into Prism specifically,
Yeah.
that's what we want to improve on. this team.
And Gravy Bombs.
That's what's
So I'm thrilled with this rules change.
I mean, at least Gravy Bones doesn't have their turn ended because one damage was randomly
Yes.
thrown at you when an angel is attacking.
That is a really good point.
I'm so upset by this. Is this a hate crime? No.
Is this a
But it feels like one.
Oh, it's not expected.
specifically trying to bully Kiki?
The next is when did you get hot?
So this is the one that I had to write down because I was thinking about it and then it made me laugh and then I forgot about it. So I had to write it down. So I was thinking, I don't know if you remember the art for Arachne solitary confinement.
Yeah.
It's just like some little like
It's a very dark.
yeah,
looking
it's like
twink.
some dark little scrawny urchin twink with like this ugly mask on. And then fast forward like 3 years to the hunted and you get this insane glow up of adult Slippy who's like become this like ethereal bisexual cloud. You know, like
He's like ethereal bisexual cloud. I love that.
when did you get hot? And like the whole song is about like being like, oh, I disregarded you for years, and then all of a sudden you show up and you're hot, and it's like, yeah, like you know, you look like this horrible little street urchin who was starved, and now all of a sudden you've like become amorphous, and you have like this really sick art. And you have a very scary hero ability, so I was thinking the solitary confinement to Slippy glow up for this one.
And by glow up, like it's
Yeah.
literally glowing.
Yeah, literally.
Slippy is
Like I literally glowing.
As a bonus to this segment, which Flesh and Blood hero would sing Espresso in a different round? So not who the song is about, would sing Espresso, would have those feelings.
It's Aurora, absolutely.
Oh,
She is like flying around. All these men are in love with her, and she's just like, oh yeah, you just want to think about me as I'm like bopping around doing my thing, because she doesn't stay in one spot for forever, so she just like leaves these men high and dry. So yeah, it's and she's
I can
very
definitely-
vibrant.
she has
So
that
yeah,
vibrant.
it's Aurora.
She's so cute.
She really is.
Wow.
Adorable.
Those were
Probably the same
Yeah.
height too.
yeah. I imagine. Aurora minutes
Like 5'1" on her tippy toes.
5'2" and Lightning Greaves.
Those were really good thought out answers. I like that. Yeah.
It was so. I like the approach to each of them different. We had the KO being the gameplay, the Riptide being the literal character dynamic, and then just aesthetic. Like you've answered each of them very different
Yeah.
ways. Loved it.
Very
Great
fitting
answer.
though in each way.
We need to do something. We need to find some other artists that they're deep into. Maybe we can convince Jackie to do a K-pop one.
Oh, that would be fun.
Speaking of other people, though, we're not the only ones who had questions for you. We had listener questions this time. And there was a few across our social media accounts. So we will start with Greg, the Meatax apologist. DarthApprentice.bsky.social. And he asks, which Smashing Good team member makes the best cup of coffee?
I think it's probably gotta be April. She's just like a great cook and baker. So I feel like she makes the best coffee.
Was there anything in particular about it? Or is this
Vibes.
just do you get your teammates to make coffee much?
No, like we'll like pick up coffee when we're like headed out, but no, we don't really make coffee together. So this is just like my best guess.
So it's all hypothetical. Right. This could be a contest that you do
Right.
with your team. You could figure
Maybe
it out.
we need to,
Science
we
can't
need to
be
like
made.
figure this
We're
out.
done.
We need to work this out.
Next question. Actually, 2 questions from John Gnarly Gnome .bsky.social, but we'll take it one at a time. First question: what aspect of the Elemental Ranger card pool does she hope Orion leads into?
So this one's interesting, and I'm sort of taking the spoiler Elemental Ranger card, which I think was called Arc Bending. I can't ever remember the names of any cards, but it's the one that has the ball lightning text on it, and it gets go again if a lightning card is pitched to pay for it. So the whole thing is like with Lexi, she's an Elemental Ranger, but the best version of her ended up being no fusion, and just like the good outsiders arrows plus go again, and like the Rain Razors 3-0 combo. So I'm hoping that they'll have some really cool like lightning arrows for him that have a lot of synergy, and because like the Elemental Ranger arrows are not great except for maybe Snapshot in Death Dealer decks. So yeah, I'm hoping that they make the elemental arrows a little better, more than just like this gets +1 if it hits, because it hitting is still a question sometimes. So I'm just hoping for some good reason to play a Lightning Ranger instead of just like a Lightning Ranger who will hopefully help with some go again, and then I play all of the good outsiders arrows and remorseless.
Yeah. There was a world back in the day where me and my team at the time were testing Lightning Lexi. This was long before Outsiders, and Ball Lightning was legal. And that effect was very powerful in that deck because like having your Shock Charmer style effect gave you reasons to play blues, so on and so forth. And like you'd almost end up fatiguing some people as well, just because they'd have to block everything. But when there is this new ball lightning effect, I could see that kind of style of play coming back, where it does matter that you're playing lightning and you're threatening breakpoints, and then that breakpoint becomes a lot bigger when you add up all these additional points of damage. So it would be very exciting to see something, specifically a ranger that isn't just playing just the ranger cards. Like it'd be nice to have attacks that are outside of that and playing within that lightning range that you were talking about as well.
Exactly, which is why
And then
I don't know if this is gonna happen, but like maybe it would be possible to have like COV in the deck as well. So I stocked up on those and like Current Funnel, because that's like a good lightning blue. So yeah, we'll see.
And then
Second question from John is how long was Smashing Good Team discussed locally before the initiative was taken to actually create it?
It's funny, we actually created the Discord before we ever got serious about like testing and stuff like that. It was just sort of like a separate place where we could just like all hang out together, and the name was chosen sort of as like a bit And like we've kept it up. All of the channels are named after cards. So like our spoiler channel is Fate for Scene, stuff like that. So it was actually like a long time before, we had the Discord for a while, and then we started inviting more people, and like some of the new players, like Brian and April, wanted to be more serious about testing and like, being a team. And it's only really this year that we're like, okay, we're going to like, have a testing schedule and, track our results and try to be a team, and like maybe at some point get on the role of teams that production always puts up on the big events to track like how we're doing. So it was actually kind of a long time, because we were like very casual about it for a while, but I think we've all gotten a little bit more serious this year. Wanted
That's
to do
a
well.
great team name, by the way. I love it.
Thanks. Yeah, we need to, now that we're getting more serious, we're like trying to like actually get a logo, because right now we're just using copyrighted art, which is not good. So
If you
we'll be more professional soon.
Next question comes from Minkval, the guy at Goblin Boon. Do you regret showing up to the LL event and becoming the sacrificial lamb to stop verdicts?
I regret it every day. I go to bed crying, and I wake up with my tears encrusted on my face.
I'm sorry for laughing.
How dare you? How dare you laugh
horrible.
at my pain?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
It's really fun to be a part of like Flesh and Blood history in that specific way. Like it's great. I love it. I would happily be sacrificed, and I love making all the jokes. I love comparing myself to Jesus on the cross, being a little sacrilegious while I was. I died for Verdance' sins.
As you say, the name Flesh and Blood isn't referring to the body and blood of Christ. Just putting that out there.
It's insane. Who can do?
Who's to say? Probably James.
That's why you will happily say
that. Finally, our last question comes from Gia.
Yeah.
I hope I'm
Cam.
pronouncing that right. I am. There we go. Makiage on Twitter, and the question is, what would it take for you to play a deck that blocks more than one card per turn on average?
I gotta tell you, almost nothing, because it sucks. I'm terrible at blocking, and Riptide has made me learn to block a little bit more. But even then, I play like the mid-range version. So I do sometimes block more than one card per turn if that's how it lines up. But I'm not very good at it. I need to keep learning. But I just like I say no blocks. No blocks. Do whatever you want to me.
Yeah.
I don't care. And that's one of the reasons why I find Citra so easy, because you're just like, no blocks. I have no agency.
She doesn't know how to block. Yeah.
I'm the exact same way. I always say my toxic trait is like, I just don't block. I don't want to block. I hate blocking. So I definitely understand. But yeah, blocking, like, it sucks. Who cares?
And blocking sucks.
Like,
no.
It reminds me of that Sage game that we played where you guys picked up a Kasai deck list thinking it was a Kasai deck list, and then ended up being this like fatigue Decimator X Kasai deck.
that was like the worst ever. That was like the worst. Actually, one time it was like a Rosetta pre-release, I think. I opened a really great Florian pool, and I've been playing Aurora because obviously she's like so girly pop. But I opened a really good Florian pool, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll play it. I guess I'll like play to my pool and not just like force a battle Aurora. But I had the most miserable time. Like, people, I was being way too dramatic having to block a whole day of blocking. I was sitting there, I was like wailing in the corner, like, I hate this, I don't wanna. And everyone's like, are you losing? I'm like, no, I'm winning. I hate just like having an awful time.
Vlogging's the worst.
It's the worst. I just can't stand it. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that's how I felt. Yeah, God, going from Azalea to Riptide, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. I just want to go 17 dominate.
Like, just let me hold my cards. The worst is when you hold all your cards and then it's your turn and you're like, oh, I probably could have blocked like that. I didn't really need points.
I probably should have blocked a little bit.
At least with the Riptide, it has some offensive capability when defending.
Yes.
Like, you deal a point of damage with your trap, and like give them an affliction probably
Yeah.
as well, or hopefully. So at the very least.
Yeah, I enjoy Riptide a little bit more because of that, and also because I find it funny to like put people in the blender, or like they're like, oh, I'll just like send a sword, and then I'm like, okay, thank you, return fire, banish an arrow, and they're like, so
Yeah.
maximum punish, you say?
Oh no. As an aside to this, I was watching your interview with Tommy just before, and I think you're talking about collapsing trap. Is that the one where they discard their hand and
Draw
then
one
draw?
less, yeah.
Yeah. So we had like the funniest situation come up at the tournament I was running, where somebody collapsing trapped a Rhino,
I
and
discarded.
the Rhino player discarded their hand, drew their hand. I was thinking about it, and then I was the commentary / judge or whatever, and it's like a casual kind of thing. So I ended up running over and being like, I believe you have intimidate triggers on his back. And the Rhino player had no clue. And that's exactly how that functioned. And then the Riptide player ended up ruining themselves because it wasn't able to block because of all the cards they intimidated from themselves.
Yeah, collapsing trap Riptide is very tricky, especially if they have like Beast Within in hand. Then you're just like giga screwed. But that and like a Buzzsaw trap against Mario is so funny because they'll just be like, all right, Chillicera for 16, and you're like, nope, I'm gonna put it back down to 1.
I'll take the 1 though. That's fine.
Well, no, I
other
won't even.
blocks.
I won't
I
even.
Need, I need these other 4 cards.
I won't even take 1 because that blocks for 3.
Oh, true. Yeah, of course.
I need something like that for my diamond items into that match.
Oh, your poor animals.
Oh, it's been fantastic on the podcast. We do have a little bit more to record after this, but for the meantime, we'll wrap this video. Well, Summer, do you have anyone you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, I just want to shout out my team's YouTube channel. We're making a push towards 1,500 subscribers, so go check out Smashing Good Team. We've got a lot of cool stuff in the future that's coming up, more gameplay, more new player content, and like more video essays from me. So it'll be great. Yeah, please come help us grow the channel. And then, yeah, you can follow me on Bluesky or Twitter at Serene Shireen on both of those.
And the channel on YouTube is?
Smashing Good Team. Sorry, thank you.
So, of course, don't forget to follow that. We should put that in the bio.
Sweet,
As well.
thank you.
I think we say that every time, and I think I've done it like once.
Honestly,
That's not a you problem. That's a me problem. And yeah, you can find us as well on Bluesky. For me, it's at kikibird.beastfed.social. You can find me on Twitter at kiki_la93.
and I am ehamontree on all of the socials. Ehamontree, like bacon on bush or pork on shrubbery. It's all just one word. Yeah. I think that's all we have today. Thank you so much for coming on the pod. This has been
Thanks
a
for having
delight.
me.
Of
was so fun.
course.
Great to have you, and I'm excited to film the next part of this, which people will be watching on the shorts. So if you haven't seen that already, it'll hopefully be out by the time this video comes out. So they should go find that short video there. And until then, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Summer, for being here, and we will see you all next time.
Bye.